Happy Cinco de Mayo, everyone. In our last chapter, we discovered that Lemonade cannot ride a bike. We also discovered that she went to Miss Dickerson's on her own, while Tobin and his mom, Debbie, went to see his grandmother. So she was invited to go to play a game at somebody's house. Let's see if she decided to go. Chapter 23, A New Life. After lunch at Miss Dickerson's, I head back to town. My stomach is full and my eyes are heavy after being up so late the night before. When I reach the library, I see the blue house. 1808. Nick French's house. There are kids running and hiding in the bushes, laughing, playing, having fun, like they have no worries in their life. No lava, no quicksand, no heavy loads to carry. I keep watching out the corner of my eye. There are two girls pointing toward me and whispering. Some boys poke elbows at each other, and they laugh at me. I pick up the pace. Hey, someone calls. San Fran. It's Buzzcut. You playing? He asks. I step in front of the driveway. Everyone is watching me now, waiting for an answer. I don't give him one. Come on, a cute boy calls out to me. We don't bite. Everyone laughs, and so do I. He's even cuter than Craig Lundgren on Sherman Elementary. He has brown eyes and a wide smile, stuck smack dab in the middle of two deep dimples on each cheek. Then they all stand there looking at me, waiting for my answer. That's Jorge, Buzzcut tells me, pointing at the cute boy. We just call him J-Man, and that's Eliza Rose, and May Cunningham, and Nick French. And you know Bo, he points his thumb at a kid, the kid with bangs. I look down the street towards Charlie's house. It would be a lot easier to go home and hide under the rainbow comforter with my head in a book than it would be to stay, or I could go back to manning the Bigfoot headquarters, which is where I'm supposed to be anyhow. I look at the girls again. They're still whispering about me. I wonder what they're saying. I think about my friends back home and how much I miss them. Melanie, Lisa K, Angela, Shelley H. They were all so much fun, and so was I before. I think about what Miss Dickerson says about accepting change. I think about the zesty girl in the round frame in the hall, and about what it used to mean to be Lemonade, Elizabeth Lillywhite. Well, Buzzcut says, are you going to just stand there all day, or are you going to play? All right, I say, feeling a sudden pain in my stomach, and I'm wondering if I have an appendicitis. Maybe I'll play. Cool, he says. I take a step towards the driveway, one step towards my new life. On the way home, I try to remember the names of all of the kids that I've met. Eliza Rose Klein is going into 4th grade, and her cat just had kittens, and she said I could have one if Charlie says it's okay. May Cunningham is going into 5th grade just like me. She's adopted from China and knows how to speak both English and Chinese. Jorge Santa Maria may just be the cutest boy on the planet. And I found out when we were both hiding behind the pine tree that he likes Twinkies too. And he agrees that they are way better than Ho-Ho's, Ding Dongs, or even Banana Flips. Nick French, he's real quiet and he turns the color of maraschino cherries whenever May is around because he sent her a note asking if she wants to be his girlfriend, and May said yes. Now they don't talk or even look at each other or anything. I also found out Buzzcut's real name is Joe Kelly, and Bangs, his name is Bo Stitch. All in all, it was a real fun day. Kicked the can is kind of like tag with a twist. The twist being that there's no can at all. The can is technically a dirty orange Nerf football. But to call it dirty, kick the dirty Nerf ball would be kind of lame. So I guess you just call it kick the can. But I've never really played kick anything before, and I kind of liked it. In the city, we roller skate, play hopscotch on the side of the sidewalk, or play jump rope. And in the evening, sometimes the boys on Beacon Street will let us play baseball with them in the alley. Jimmy Libertine always lets me be catcher, even though I miss the ball more than I catch it. Erica Vass says that that's because he likes me. And maybe he is, because one time he gave me a whole bouquet of Tootsie Pops. And if Tootsie Pops equals love, I guess he can love me a whole bunch, because he gave me a full dozen. And they were all cherry, which everyone knows is the very best flavor of Tootsie Pop there is. "Where have you been?" Tobin hollers at me from Charlie's front porch. He's pacing back and forth with his yellow legal pad. It's tucked under his arm, and his pencil is stuck behind his ear. I, um, I. It didn't occur to me that I needed to keep my afternoon a secret. I mean, it's not like I'm not allowed to play with other kids, but for some reason, right this minute, I can't make my mouth make the words. "I was, out, having tea and cookies with Miss Dickerson," I tell him, which isn't exactly a lie. "Did she report any more sightings?" he asks, sitting down on the front porch swing. "No," I say, making my way up the driveway. "I just wanted to hear some more stories about Mama. I counted on you to be in charge of the Bigfoot headquarters while I was gone, and you leave for the day? What's the big deal?" "The big deal is I trusted you to be in charge for the very first time, and you went and had tea and cookies instead. That's the big deal. But I guess that doesn't matter to you. Nothing matters to you." "What's that supposed to mean?" "Nothing," he mumbles. "Where's Charlie?" I ask. "He's already inside starting dinner," Tobin says, "because you weren't here for that either." "Lemonade," Charlie calls through the screen door. "Is that you?" "Yes, Charlie," I call back. "Miss Cotton is on the phone for you." Tobin's brow lowers, and his eyes stare hard at me. "What's with you?" I ask. "Nothing," he says, getting up off the swing and making his way down the front porch steps. "Where are you going?" I ask him. He doesn't say one word. I watch him cross the street, walk up his driveway, and pull open the screen door. It slams behind him. That night, after dinner, after I wash with my Irish Spring bath, I find Charlie in the living room watching Barnaby Jones. "Charlie?" "Yes." He gets up from the couch with the big leaves on it, and he turns the volume down. "I have a question for you," I say. He sits back down, and he pats the leaf next to him, like I'm supposed to sit there. "Well, let's hear it," he says. I decide to slide one hip down onto a different leaf in the matching chair across the room instead. "Where's Tobin's dad?" I ask. Charlie breathes out slow and long. Then he folds his glasses and he slips them into his shirt pocket. "Lem, Scotty was drafted to go to Vietnam. Goodness, it was about 5 years or so ago. And, well, he never came back home." "Did he die?" Charlie shakes his head. "We don't know. 2 military men came to the house about a year after he went in and told Debbie he was MIA, missing in action. I think at that time we all held out hope that he was still alive. But it became harder and harder with each passing year." "So you think he did die?" "Well, we feared that that was the case. And then Debbie got a call last year from the Army letting her know that he was found. Then he's alive! He was a prisoner of war for many years, 3 total. That's a very long time to be like that. The prisoners were tortured in terrific ways, very horrific. Debbie was told that Scotty was found and that he would be transported back to Oakland for a debriefing and then he would be discharged home. They told her that he was okay and that she didn't know exactly what condition he was in and all that he had been gone through. So, is he still in Oakland? We don't know. I drop my chin in my hand and I sigh. I guess I don't understand, I say. Debbie received a letter from Scotty when he made it back to California, letting her know how much he loved her and Tobin and that he couldn't wait to get home to see her. And then he was gone. What do you mean gone? Where did he go? Well, what we know is that he was discharged from the Army, given an airline ticket to Redding, but when Debbie and Tobin went to pick him up at the airport, he wasn't there. They found that he hadn't even made it to the plane. What do you think happened to him? I don't know the answer to that, he says. But what I do know is that Scotty loved his family more than anything in this world, and something very bad must have happened to him to keep him away. I swallow very, very hard. But they're still waiting for him. Tobin and his mom, I ask. Yes, they hold out hope that he's okay. They love him very, very much. Think about that. Do you think he could still come home? I hope so, Lem, he says, for their sake. I truly hope he does. But the sad truth is that we may never know what happened to him. There are still many missing soldiers out there in the world after the war ended, and we just don't have the answers. Is that why Tobin is the way he is? How's that? You know. Well, kinda particular, really. Charlie smiles. I think it's the way you look at it. I find him, well, particularly special, with elements of personality that few people share. Smart, funny, and full of questions that he needs answered. I think he's a very, very special kid. Oh, me too, I say. But it would be nice to know other kids think he's special too. Well, of course it would. I certainly don't see anything wrong with that. Charlie strokes his beard and looks at me for a long moment. What's this about, Lem? I take deep breaths and I look at my furry pink slippers on my feet, the ones Mama gave me for Christmas last year. I played kick the can today at Nick French's house with some other kids, I say. Uh-huh, Charlie says. I still don't see the problem. Well, I guess Tobin doesn't really fit in there. Ah, Charlie says. Some kids even make fun of him, I say. He pauses for a minute while he thinks about what he wants to say. Yes, he has some struggles with kids his own age. The 2 boys who came into the store the other day, Joe Kelly and Bo Stitch, they give Tobin a pretty hard time now, and Joe is the one of the kids who invited me to play. Oh, I see. At first, I didn't think there was really anything wrong with it. At least that's what I told myself when I got home. I, well, I lied to Tobin about where I'd been. I guess I didn't want to hurt his feelings. Yes, I can see that. Charlie strokes his beard, and then he thinks hard about my question. Lem, one of the things that was really unique about your mother was that she got along with everyone, no matter who they were. She never judged anyone for being different or treated anyone unkindly because of who they were or what they'd been through. I'm the same way, I point to myself. I mean, I used to be. At home, I am. I have lots of friends. Erica's my very best friend, and then there's Melanie and Lisa and Angela and Shelley. And I start to list on my finger. Oh, I don't doubt it, he says. I don't doubt it. You're so much like her. Maybe this is the opportunity for you to help Tobin bridge a gap that he hasn't figured out how to bridge on his own yet. I would think you're just the person to do it. So you're saying you think I should tell him? I think you should make those decisions on your own. I'm just saying you're so much like your mother that I forget sometimes that you are you. And one thing I know is that she would find a way to bring everyone together. I think about it. Thanks, Charlie, I say. You're welcome, Lem. I hope I helped. I smile. You did. That's it for chapter 23. I hope everyone had a wonderful day